next key speaker that we have is the founder of the Nation of Patriots, is Bill Sherer.
Good morning. Come on. There we go, Nebraska. Here we go. First and foremost, I'm part of my role as a volunteer CEO and founder and all that good stuff of this organization is I get the honor of coming to events like this to say thank you to all of those who are involved in putting all of this together. This is no small feat. Several of you can attest to that. It takes a lot of people. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to SumTur Amphitheater for allowing us to kick off the 2023 Patriot Tour right here. Thank you. Our local sponsors, I know we thank you already, but it means a lot to us when the business community engages in these kinds of events because it brings the community into what we're trying to do here. This is not about me. It's not about the greater country. Right now, we're focused on Papillion, Nebraska, and launching this tour from your hometown. And so when we see the business and the community engaged, we know we're doing something right. So thank you to our local sponsors. And to our national sponsors. They are the ones behind us. We could not be 100% volunteer, and we could not give 100% of everything we raise back to the cause if it was not for a select few companies out there that give us everything we need to keep the lights on. Without them, this kind of falls apart because we will not take money from you and put it in my pocket or somebody else's pocket. Those are donations, and they go to the veterans that we serve to help. So, first and foremost, thank you. Yeah, that's right. Anybody that handles a firearm for any sort of reason out there, if you're not shooting with Vortex optics glass, then you ain't shooting straight. I'm just going to tell that to you right now. They're a huge supporter of ours. They help us with the t-shirts. They're based in Wisconsin. That's where I'm from. And they are a fantastic company. And then Caston Moses, motorcycle injury attorney firm. I like to say if the rubber side is over the chrome side, you're going to need a good partner. And that's a partner that we would choose. They're a great supporter too. So thank you if you're watching. But there's two people here that I have come to personally say thank you to. If I could get Lisa and Troy to come up and stand right next to me. We've been working with these two for the last couple of months. They were the ones that got the right players in place, put together a proposal, put it on our desk. As soon as we looked at that proposal, we knew we had a winner. And it was a unanimous decision that we were going to launch the 2023 Patriot Tour right here. And I'd say, just like I said last night, man, we couldn't pick a better state to do this from. Troy and Lisa, thank you very much. And to Papillion, thank you. Papillion, this is going to be fantastic, and I can't wait to see you in September. I was sitting down, as I do every year, to try to figure out what to say when I got to this podium. And I like to bring a little bit of the history into this stuff. And every time, and I know there's people here that have heard this story, and I'm sure there's people watching that are like, oh, he's going to do it again. But I think it's important. I always go back to the first year. And it wasn't the first year we did the Patriot Tour. It was the first year that we did the Patriotic Tour for veterans. It was the first first tour we ever did in 2009. We were a brand new organization. And it was the greatest, most wonderful failure that this organization has ever seen. And I like to tell you that because it's a good part of the history. And for those of you that don't know about it, it's kind of what brings us all here today. We learned a lot of lessons that year, which shaped us up and put us on the right track. And so a very long story short, back in 2008 is when we started to recognize a need in veteran community. There was a lot of veterans that were coming home from overseas, which when we were embroiled in some of the worst conflicts over there, and they were coming back in droves. They needed mental, physical care. And from what we could see, the VA hospital, as much good as they were trying to do, they were overwhelmed. And a lot of these veterans were falling through the cracks. Too many of them were committing suicide. A lot of them didn't have the information they needed to get the benefits that were staring them right in the face. They simply weren't asking the right questions. So there was a lot of confusion, misunderstanding, and unfortunately the veteran community was suffering. So after we realized what was going on, we validated that. We understood that we had the motivation, the time, the funds to do something about it. So naturally, we called up a lawyer and we started a nonprofit organization. And back then, we saw a lot of organizations springing up all over the place. And a lot of them were folding almost overnight. And there was a little bit of confusion as to who was doing what out there. So we put something on the table right away. And we said that this was not going to be a job for us. This was going to be something that we were going to be doing and doing right. Because what's the point to do it otherwise? So we said we were always going to be volunteers. And every single dollar that we took in was going to go straight to the cause. There would be no big checks for CEOs. There would be no checks or commissions for anybody else. And luckily, that is what basically propelled us through all of the years, through 14 years of doing this. But that first year, we put together the Patriotic Tour for veterans. And we were going to valiantly jump on our motorcycles and we were going to ride around the country. And we literally thought that people would come out of their homes and throw money at us because our cause was so amazing. And so we put a goal on the table of raising $1 million in 2009. We didn't raise $1 million. In fact, we raised $2,100, and we didn't complete the tour because we ran out of our own funds. We made it through every state east of the Mississippi, and we crossed over, fell into Kansas, and then tucked tail and turned home. We got home, we went back to, life, back to our jobs and everything else. A couple months went by, and our director of finance contacted me. He oversees our bank accounts, and he said, "Hey, Bill, man, we got $2,100 in this account. What do you want to do with that?" And it dawned on me, we said we were going to give all this money away, so let's do that. We contacted the Milwaukee VA hospital. We told them what we had done and what we wanted to do with that money. And they went out and they found 3 candidates for us to give this money away to. So we said, okay, we met with them. We showed up. It just happened to be right before Christmas. Just a coincidence. We showed up. It was snowing. It was freezing. And they sat us in this little tiny room. And they opened the door and in walked the first family. They sat down. We had a wonderful conversation. At the end of the conversation, still gets me to the day. We slid this check across the table. We told them where it came from. And it was just waterworks. But I could not believe the impact that $700 had on this family. They told us that they were going to be able to pay some bills down, and then they asked permission to buy their kids some Christmas presents. I was holding it back. My girlfriend at the time, she was crying. It was unbelievable. We walked out of that room with a new purpose. We understood exactly how much just a little bit of support could go, or how far a little bit of support could go. And we decided that we were going to give this thing a shot again. So we retooled the Patriotic Tour for veterans. And instead of us jokers riding around on our motorcycles, we made it bigger than us. And we stuck an American flag on the back of the motorcycle. And we organized the tour. We made sure that we had representatives in every single, back then the 48 lower states. And we sent that thing on its way. About 4 months later, we showed up in Madison where it was supposed to come back. And to our surprise, it did. And it came back with about $5,000. And we gave it all away. The next year, it did it again. And it had about $7,500. So we did it again. And we continued doing it all the way up to this present day. And I'm very happy to report that over the course of our history, we went from $2,100 raised and donated to over $1.8 million raised and donated. That's the power of volunteers, man. That's the power of the American spirit. It's out there. I know we don't see it on our TVs or on our Facebooks or Twitters or whatever you're into, but it's there. You're proof. It is out there. And this Patriot Tour brings it all together. We come here to celebrate our country, not protest our country. We come here to celebrate and honor our veterans, our active duty military personnel. And we come here to try to raise support for those veterans who are struggling to support their families. That's what this day is all about. And this Patriot Tour has turned into a tradition that has become a promise to these people, to that community. A promise that no matter the hardship they're facing, no matter the battle, the darkness, that we, the American people, we the people, we will never forget their sacrifice. And it is for them. It is because of them that we are and forever shall be a nation of patriots.